Everyone, hey YouTube, hey Facebook, it's Lorelei here. Today I was asked a question about on my Facebook feed, on my status. I was asked a question about aliens, and I can go on forever about aliens because ever since I was a little girl, I apologize for my voice. It's the weather, my allergies, and my voice has been just been a mess, so bear with me. I've been asked about aliens, and I can go on and on and on about aliens because that is something that has been a part of my life for a long time. When I was a kid, I don't know why, but I had this, the first time I ever saw a gray alien, like in a cartoon, there was this thing on MTV, and it was just something about alien abduction. Something just struck a chord in my mind. Like, I swear in my life I have seen these beings before. I'm not just a crazy kid. Like, I swore I was in a spaceship. I swore I saw something in the sky. I just could not exactly remember what happened. I remember little bits and pieces of seeing something in the sky. Then I was here and here and here. And I had strange dreams about seeing familiar faces, but things didn't make sense. So when I was in elementary school, there was a book, and it said aliens, and it had a gray alien on it. So there was this book club thing on the weekends. So my nerdy ass went to get that book, and I started reading. And I kept reading and reading and researching and getting into astrophysics and space and, and spirituality. And there was something about these aliens that I just could not stop learning because I knew I had to have seen these beings when I was very young. You know how when you're a kid, you don't really remember much from your past, but they say when you're a child, you can see things that a lot of people can't see. And I don't remember, but something in my subconscious memory is telling me that something was telling me, like, there's something about this phenomenon that I have to do some research, because I swear to God, I was abducted by aliens. And people think I'm crazy, like, bro, you're smoking too much weed. I am not on weed. I'm not on drugs. I am completely sober right now. And I still to this day believe that people on this planet interact with aliens on a daily basis in other dimensions and vibrations that we can't see because they're moving too fast. There's a lot of people that capture orbs on camera, that capture strange lights and beings. And I always was into this kind of stuff because I always felt like something was always watching me. And it wasn't just paranoia. It's just, it feels like, this feeling like your energy can sense another energy around you and there's no one there. It's a very scary thought, but it's a very real thought. And as let's just go back to aliens. I didn't write anything down. Like I said, I need to start doing that. I'm getting back into YouTube again, so I just speak from the heart. I'm on autopilot. Okay, so I'm just aliens. My experiences with aliens were like this. I really didn't actually see an alien because all those parts of my memory seem to be blanked out, but I do remember situations where I was on spaceships and where I was on different planets or different on the moon or in a spaceship. I remember being different places. I was not on Earth. I do remember very strange things, but I don't exactly remember the image of the alien, because I think what they do is they trick your mind to see a familiar face. I would see people that I would know. I'm like, I know this person, but I don't know them like that. So why are they in my dream? Who is this person? This cannot be. This has to be deception. These some of these alien beings are benevolent, and some of them are not. From my personal experiences, I think I've dealt with gray aliens. Everyone's like, the typical gray alien with the big ass eyes and shit. Well, these aliens, from my extensive research for many years, because I'm not an expert on this stuff, but I'll just tell you from all my research, I've heard the same thing. These beings are really robotic. They're like the little ones are like the workers. The little ones are like the robotic ones. That they don't really have a soul. They say, I don't know if they do because I don't speak their language, but they're telepathic. They're mental beings. They carry out orders, like they do abductions. They take your DNA, your blood, your sperm, your eggs, and stuff like that. That's who you interact with. Then there's the taller ones that I think they have more personality. I guess they have more I don't know if I could say soul. It's very hard to describe, but they're very telepathic. They do not talk. They don't speak. They just images. They speak through images and feelings, like energies. They're very old, I would say. I don't know if they're better than human beings. I think they've existed longer. There's a lot of theories about gray aliens, because there's theories like this. People say, who are religious freaks, that gray aliens are bodies for demonic souls. That's one theory. Then some people say it's a dying race from another solar system, that or the race was already in Earth. They just can't survive in the climate, so they're underground, and they abduct people so that they can fuse with human beings so they can survive in the environment. There's a lot of theories, and there's a theory that they didn't even come from space. They were here all along. They just don't want to be seen because they can't adapt to the environment. Or there's another theory that they're interdimensional beings, that try to come through to this reality. I don't know what the deal is, but when I see this being, something just clicks. Like, I know I've dealt with this being before. I know I've been there, and it was very, very weird. But from as far as I can remember when I was a kid, I'm just checking the time. Okay. As far as I can remember when I was a kid, the gray alien was the most familiar being I've seen. It wasn't until I was a little older that I started learning about reptilians and stuff. And I think I've dealt with reptilians too, because I had this very strange dream where I was running in this forest. There was a few strange dreams. I'm just going to briefly talk about the most profound dreams that I've had that made me realize, okay, this world is not what it seems. Because there's things around us every day, every second that we cannot see, because we can't see on those vibrational levels, because things move so fast. Haven't you noticed when something moves so fast you can't really see it anymore? Well, that's just how the human brain works. If a computer cannot process a lot of information, it pretty much seems like it does not exist. So for the human mind, there's things around us that we don't understand and we can't process. It seems like it does not exist because we cannot decode it. That doesn't mean it's not there. You know the term that they say, if something makes a sound, do you hear it? And people argue and debate about it. My take on that is the sound exists. It's just you can't decode it. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means that you did not hear it. Okay. People keep going on, no, the sound doesn't exist because if you don't hear it, it doesn't exist. It's like, no, that's stupid. Of course it exists. You just didn't hear it. Like, if a tree falls in California, just because I can't hear it does not mean it does not exist. That's my personal take. But anyway, back to the dream. The dream is like this. I had a dream I was running through a forest, and I turned to my side, and there was this white guy running next to me in shorts, smiling like, hey, how are you? I was like, hi, how are you? Then I looked forward again. Now this dream, it was just a cool tone. It was blues and greens, like a forest, like it was a park, and white skies, like it was like kind of rainy. And I turned around again, and it was a black guy. And I'm like, this is really weird. And then I turn around again, and then I don't remember anything else after that. All I remember was I was in this tomb, this place with a lot of rocks in it. It was a lot of brown. It was a lot of rocks, like a little cave. It wasn't really a cave. It was like a little burrow or something. And I looked down. I don't know what's going on, but I realized that, I don't know how I know this, but I realized that I have been eaten. I've been devoured, and my soul is looking around confused. Then my soul goes back to my house where I live at where I used to live at my grandparents' house, and I see my mother, and I'm trying to think to myself, is this before I was born? Is this what happened to me? What happened? Like these beings, something ate me, like literally ate me, and then I woke up and my soul, I was just flying around. So it was a very strange dream. And I've had lots of crazy dreams where I felt like I was dying. I couldn't breathe. It felt like something was sucking the energy out of me. And then another dream I've had that was really profound, that was crazy. This is how I know there's other dimensions and realms. Okay, it's been 9 minutes. I'm going to try to keep this brief. There's a dream I had where there was a man. and he had all white on, a white suit. It was a Caucasian gentleman. I want to say Caucasian, because if I say white, people might get offended. So let me just, a Caucasian gentleman. He had a white suit on. He had blonde hair. He showed me this huge circuit board. I'm going to draw it one of these days when I have time. He showed me this huge circuit board. It looked like a computer chip, but it was large. It was huge. It was like a building or something. Not a building, but like just a house or something. I don't know. He told me, he says, this is what controls it all. This is the key to everything. I didn't understand what he was talking about. It was this huge thing. He said, this is what runs a lot of things around here. I'm like, okay. Now, in this same dream, that was just one part. So this guy in this all-white suit, bleached blonde hair, blue eyes, tells me, this sounds weird, right? This circuitry, this computer circuit board, looked like a computer or something, runs everything. Okay? Then, in another part of the dream, I could hear, yes, this is exactly what I'm about to say. I know it sounds weird. I could hear colors. I could not see. I was blind. I could hear the color red. I could hear the color blue. And I understood it was that color. It was very strange. It was like my perception of things were different. Like I could hear colors. I could feel colors. The vibrations of colors without, I was blind. You know how you just put your hand, I'm losing my voice, damn. You could just put your hands over your eyes like you can't see anything. That's how I was. I couldn't see anything. I could just hear colors and feel colors and feel what was around me. Feel what was around me. And I couldn't see anymore. Physically, could not see. I could just understand what was around me. And it's a very strange thing. If you've never experienced that, it's very hard to explain. So imagine you have your two eyes blind and you could feel and hear colors. Because when I spoke to someone who's in the studio, I said, what does the color blue sound like? I know that's a very strange question. He said it's more like a high-pitched sound because it's the vibrations. So it started to make sense. I'm not in music. That's not my field. I do like to sing and stuff, but that's not my field, so I can't explain. But as far from an artistic point of view, I do know that different colors resonate different vibrations. So that dream was a very crazy dream, and it made a lot of sense to me as far as the way we perceive things. You could perceive things completely differently. You could hear colors. You can hear the color red. I can't explain this shit to you. You just have to go through it to understand it and not think a bitch is crazy. Okay? Like, just don't sit here and tell me I'm crazy. Because I hate when people say, oh, that's crazy, that's crazy. Because a lot of people in the world have experienced stuff like this. So, as far as going back to the aliens thing, I'm going to do a part 2 because I'm at 13 minutes. I'm going to do a part 2 for you guys because that was more talking about the experiences I've had, with different things, perception of this reality. But I'm going to get more into the aliens in part 2. So stay tuned. Bye.